Family, wash your hands, wear your mask, stand apart. In our family, we've got keiki, we've got kupuna, and we're always conscious about how close we are to people, especially for me. I'm high risk as a cancer survivor. So it's about the we, not the me. It's a kako thing. So make sure that you stand together by standing apart. How's it, everybody? Happy Aloha Friday. Aloha! Wait, what? What is this? What? Happy Aloha Friday. I'm being showered with bubbles. Tracy is in. Our usual, the dance floor, Jaslyn is on assignment today. Happy Aloha Friday. Billy V here. Billy V Live is on the air. We do have a great show planned for you here on your Aloha Friday. As a matter of fact, let's kind of dive into things real quickly here. Here's what we got coming up for you. We are going to talk to Grammy Award winner, two-time Grammy Award winner, Kalani Peʻa, from his home in Hilo, Hawaii. Get a little personal look at brother and ask him some tough questions coming up this afternoon. Also, Kamaka Dias has been busy. This is the man that we're going to talk to that has a brand new book, and he's the one that did, if you remember, Race to 50K to pay off his college bills, and he was able to do it. That is all coming up here on the show. So with that, we say happy Aloha Friday, and there is a bunch of people. Tracy, I don't know if you can see this, but it looks like to me that my light is blinking behind me. Did we not pay the bill? I don't. Okay, we'll have to figure that out somewhere along the way. Somebody let me know if the light is blinking, because according to from what I see, it is blinking behind me. So, yeah, all right. In the meantime, Raynette, thank you very much. Raynette was the first one onto the show today. Chase joins us. Thank you very, very much. Yorana from Tahiti. Thank you so much for being with us. And, 3 o'clock your time, too. And we love that you are here. Aloha from Isabel, watching from Ohio. Debbie Bruce is on. Debbie, I did get your email, just to let you know. So thank you very much for that. And we'll address that coming up in an upcoming show. She had some ideas for us. And she's also affiliated with some friends that I happen to know here, too. So that's awesome. And Jean-Yves says, bonjour de Tahiti. Lovely, you are having a beautiful evening. Thank you so much. Jan is in Las Vegas, and Gail is in Maui, and there's a whole bunch of people that are here on the channel. Kikilani says, love the shirt. Thank you very much. Okinawa is on. Kavika, it has been a little while since we've seen you. We're glad that you are here. We'll get into everybody coming up here in just a little bit. Just a reminder that, as always, you can always watch the shows on YouTube if you're there. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and make sure that you hit the share button if you're over on the Facebook side. We appreciate that very much. We were with a Pipeline, the North Shore, but that camera just went out. So we'll have to go with Waikiki for the moment. But there are not as many waves as we showed you last Friday. The waves were great. Live video right now, Waikiki. You can see a lot of people down there on the beach on close. But if you kind of look out towards where we hold Sunset on the Beach for the Hawaii Five-0 and Magnum PI red carpets, which now will have NCIS Hawaii. Isn't that exciting? You can see that there's a mound of sand in between there that they're slowly whittling away as they take a lot of that sand and replenish the beach from the Royal Hawaiian all the way down towards the Kapahulu groin. So that's what they're doing, but people are still finding places to go lay out in the sand. Supposed to be rain showers today, but we've got sunshine in the mix as well. So we're really happy about that on your Aloha Friday. All right, time for some headline news. First of all, I've been told that former State Senator Brickwood Galuteria is standing by over on the windward side of Oahu. We'll get to him just after these headline stories. Men's volleyball, the University of Hawaii plays for the national championship coming up tomorrow night against rival BYU. If you remember 2 years ago, actually it was last year, they played and BYU was the final game before everything was shut down because of the pandemic. However, in that 5-game nail-biter, last final game, BYU prevailed. Here we go into this season, and they find themselves, Hawaii, in the championship game one more time. Of course, the last time that they were up for the national championship, they were playing against Long Beach. So, go Bows. That's going to be tomorrow. Need more information? Go on over to the official website for University of Hawaii Athletics. That is hawaiiathletics.com. We are also watching a movie. We had the trailer here, but for some reason it's not pulling up on our sources here. But the movie Hawaiian Soul about George Helm. We have just gotten word from the people, the directors and the producers of that film. We are thankful to announce that we are an official selection into the 2021 Center for Asian American Media Film Festival based out of San Francisco, California. Congratulations. That is completely awesome. They will be screening that online, by the way, in the Pacific Showcase, sponsored by Pacific Islanders in Communications. One more story before we go to the windward side. Iolani Palace, Google is partnering with them and Paula Akana to create a virtual exhibition of the royal residence. Users are invited to read letters and explore treasures from the monarchy. The tech giant curated a high-resolution view inside King David Kalakaʻa's 1881 World Tour. Find out more about that we've got the links for you right now at hawaiinewsnow.com. Let us go to the windward side of Oahu from Kupuna Power. It's a store that's over at Windward Mall. It's Brickwood Galuteria. Yay! Let me unmute your microphone there, Brickwood, and let you say hello. And brother, aloha to you.
Hey, aloha to you, brother. I'm telling you that on-air light looks psychedelic to me.
Okay, so it is blinking. We'll have to check the power supply on that one. Hey, first of all, let me go through the accolades here for those that may be seeing you for the first time. Former State Senator Brickwood Galuteria, both of us were at KCCN Radio, both AM and FM back in the day. He is also was the president of the Hawaii Academy of Recording Arts. He continues to work hard in the community even after leaving the state legislature, and he is also now the host of a TV show called Kupuna Power on K5. But now, brother, you got to look at this. What is this, New Digs?
This is the New Digs, brother. Happy to be with you, by the way, and let's not forget Hawaiian 105, okay? As we did the young stuff in 100, we went to 105, we did like the millennial, maybe a little bit older Makua, and now we're doing Kupuna Power here at the Windward Mall. So thanks a lot for letting us join you on the Facebook Live. Appreciate it. Congratulations on your success, and we want to invite everybody to come and visit us at Windward Mall. We're happy to be here. We have our television show here. We do the taping here. We have our Kupuna Makeke as another part of our space here, Kupuna Power at Windward Mall, and also our resource center so that Kupuna can come down here and access information and resource information as well. So we're in the middle of something big. We want to tell you about it today.
Okay, so Brickwood, kind of introduce your guest and your friend.
Yeah, this is my good friend, Ann Komatsu of the Aloha Diaper Bank.
Yay!
Anne came to us along with some other special friends, Joyce Higa and Kathy Kirch, and the Aloha Diaper Bank and Kupuna Power presents Kupuna Love Our Keiki Diaper Drive. And anyway, thank you so much, Anne, for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for donating all these diapers. So far, I think we've got almost 10,000 diapers donated so far.
Wow.
You know. And Billy, you know, there's a reason why we're doing this. And I think Ann is best suited to share with us why diapers are so needed in our community today.
Before Ann jumps into that, Brickwood, can you do me a favor and give your earpiece to Ann? That'll help us hear her a little bit better, because that's also serving as the microphone as well.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Now, Ann, I can hear you loud and clear. Ann, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So
our children are keiki in the community. Of course, we do have some that actually, unfortunately, suffer from diaper need. At least 1 in 7 children here in the islands suffer from some kind of diaper need. So we are here as the Aloha Diaper Bank to help them and to help our moms, not only that, celebrating Mother's Day, to relieve the stress off of them by giving them simply a diaper for their children. So we're really thankful that Kupuna Power has done this at a really, really great surreal time for us to help our moms and to alleviate that stress off of them. So we're very thankful for this. And every diaper counts for every single keiki, and making sure that they're healthy and clean. And, you know, we want them to thrive and have a great life. So we're thankful for.
I do want to ask this. Are you taking diapers for adults as well?
We are. We
Really?
are actually taking diapers for adults, because there are also the adults that are in diaper need as well. We primarily take children or keiki diapers, but because of Kupuna Power, we've actually expanded that and are now welcoming our Kupuna diapers as well. So we're very fortunate to have all of these people that have been coming in and donating to Kupuna Power. It's
all
been
right.
very, very awesome. So
Brickwood?
tomorrow, though, I'm going to let Brickwood talk about that, right?
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you back this. We've got to hand sanitize that, huh?
Okay, hey, listen. Okay, so, oh, by the way, PC, let's be politically correct. It's called Adult Disposable Briefs.
Thank you very much. Yes. Okay, good. Because, you know, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, as I raise my hand. Thank you.
So you know, this past May Day, we had a launching of the diaper drive. Yeah, Kupuna Love Our Keiki, and we had lei making right outside the Kupuna Power at Windward Mall space, and then inside. And you're gonna love this one, Billy. We had a jam session, because there's so much musicians who are kind of jonesing to get together, right? So we just had a nice jam. My good friend and your good friend Kimo Kahono dropped by. He's going to be dropping by tomorrow when we conclude the Kupuna Love Our Keiki diaper drive. 9 to 11, we got a drive-through drop-off in the parking lot here at Windward Mall for those who cannot come inside. Then from 11 to 1, we're going to conclude the diaper drive by jamming. We're going to bring all of the diaper center court, and then we're going to have a jam session. Kimo's going to join us. All of the same guys in the Kupuna Power Philharmonic Orchestra that came this past
awesome
meeting are going to join us too. And by the way, there's a microphone there for Billy V as well. If you wanna jump on stage with a couple Kupuna. You know what I mean?
That is awesome. That would be awesome. I appreciate that very much. Sorry for those that are just joining us, and there was a question in the comments. Until what time are you there, and how late can they donate?
Okay, well, go
just
ahead.
2 o'clock.
We're going to be here till 2 o'clock tomorrow, okay? Right now, we're just going to kind of take it easy, kind of cruise. We're getting ready to actually close up shop. Right, Kupuna Power at Windward Mall is normally open from 10 to 2. This is Kupunaville. I couldn't believe it right here at the Windward Mall. I can only imagine what it was like pre-COVID, when there was a lot of activity. Kupuna walk around the mall each morning because it's safe. It's, inclement weather in Kaneʻohe could force people indoors, and the mall is indoors. So it's a perfect fit for Kupuna Power. And Aloha Diaper Bank is a perfect fit as well. So we want to invite everybody to come down, bring diapers, and bring disposable briefs as well. And we appreciate it. The Aloha Diaper Bank then takes all of the donations and they rewrap it, 25 each. And then they distribute it through the agencies such as Child Welfare, Child and Family Services, who
Catholic Charities,
Catholic
Keiki
Charities,
Okaina.
Keiki Okaina. So we're really, really pleased. We're up to 10 grand. We'd like to get to 50 if we can. Of course, we're going to give Aloha Diaper Bank whatever we get between today and tomorrow. Okay,
all right.
Billy, thank you for your time.
Once again, Kupuna Power, go ahead and check it out. They are located in the Windward Mall, and once again, that's where they also film the show. And thank you so much for all you do for our community. Brickwood, I should mention, is also a Na Hoku Hanohano Award winner. Brick, I'll talk to you later, brother.
Okay, brother. Aloha.
All right. Once again, Brickwood Galuteria there on the windward side of Oahu. On this Aloha Friday, we should also mention and get into that as well. We want to say congratulations to all the final ballot nominees for this year's Na Hoku Hanohano Awards. The ballots were just released online, the final ballots, that is. And so they are online now. Go to Hara, Hara, Hawaii. That's harahawaii.com, and you can see the full list. Congratulations to Kainani Kahonaile. She has 10 nominations, 4 for music. The other 6 are in adjudicated categories. The group Ekolu, actually, that would be Lukela, the lead singer from the group Ekolu, has 4 on his own. 5 on his own, and 2 as a member of the group Ekolu, for a total of 7 for him. So very exciting, and we'll have more information. That also is online at hawaiinewsnow.com. On this Aloha Friday, we're getting to talk story with some of our esteemed recording artists. And before we started on this Aloha Friday, I asked Kalani Peʻa to share something personal with us. Tell us about the area that he comes from, the area around him or near his hale as he joins us from Maui.
When we are I'm facing Mauna Leo right now, and Mauna Leo, the voices of the mountain. When we're here, we get to hear the concerts and the various cultural festivities for the Maui arts as the voice and the leo lingers through the ahupua'a of Kalua, through the moku of Wailuku Maui. Behind me is the Nahono a Pi'ilani, the Kahului Bay of Chief Pi'ilani of Maui. So when I'm embracing all these elements, Billy, we get so enthralled and intrigued to write music about these people, Pi'ilani, Mauna Leo, the beauty of our ocean and our streams in Iao. And when we get when we're trapped, I'm going to say the word trapped, because trapped can be reactive, but in a Hawaiian perspective, it's okay to be trapped in beauty. It's okay to be intrigued and captivated by the elements around us here in Hawaii that allows us to write about these special wahipana, special places. So doing Kauka Peʻa, people ask me, your last name is Peʻa, which means a sailboat. Why this theme? Why this album? Kauka Peʻa is so fitting for this time as we're pivoting and adapting to new changes as people living through this pandemic that'll soon be another chapter in our life. But Kauka Peʻa is the theme of my album, where we all must hoist our sails, put up our sail, whether our sail really is made out of polyester, cotton, or lauhala, or purple polyester. we must get into that va'a kaulua, whether our va'a is a kaukahi, a single hull canoe or double hull canoe. We got to be like our King Kalakaua, who revived Hula and Mele, and he got into his steamboat with his wahine, Queen Kapi'olani, and other collaborators, and he collaborated with emperors and kings and queens and presidents around the world, because that's what we do as people. We, as people of the Pacific, have collaborated and built bridges around the world. So the Mele talks about Kalakaua's legacy, King Kamehameha Ekahi's unifying the islands under one rule in 1810 and his legacy. Also, my kupuna, my great-grandparents traveling to Kalapana on a boat as well. And I acknowledge my great-great-grandfather, Iaukea Peʻa, and his father, who was also fishermen and voyagers too. So, and musicians in Kalapana, Puna, Hawaii. So I come from Hilo, Hawaii, but I live here in Maui, where my maternal grandparents are from, Ke'anai and Hana. So I acknowledge these people who have shaped my identity on this new album.
Before we dive more into the album, for those of you that are watching right now, this is a perfect example of Aloha Aina. Here we're talking to a Kama'aina who knows his Aina, his area where he comes from. He knows the history, the surroundings. He knows the different winds, and when the winds blow, it brings sounds of music from around. And so it's this based in Aloha Aina that we talk about from time to time on this show. that he brings forth the music that he has put on past and present recordings. I just want to make that point, even though we're not talking about Aloha Aina, it seems that this is interweaved in here throughout what Kalani Peʻa is sharing with us. Don't mean to talk about you in third person, but that's what he's talking about here and now. It's interesting that you talked about Kalakaua as the collaborator, because I was just with Paula Akana last week, and we had a deep discussion about the collaborative efforts of Kalakaua and what he does, and the way even he seated himself in Iolani Palace having meals. Instead of being at the end of the table, he would be in the middle of the table where he could talk and vala'au with everybody. And so
Yes.
that was an amazing thing. Talk about, you really have some awesome guests who are also part of this album. Talk about that for a couple minutes.
So collaboration is the key to me. I mean, collaboration is the key to success. And I'm all about collaborating. Coming from a public relations bachelor's degree and coming from a background in communications, I just reach out to these legends like the Pandanus Club and say, hey, Kahu Kenneth Makuakane, Ronnie Lopez, I grew up to your music as a Hilo boy. As a little chubby boy in Hilo, I grew up listening to your music. Can you collaborate with me and be part of my va'a? Can you be part of my vision and mission to share Hawaiian music? They're, oh, no problem, brother. Yes. So collaborating with Dave Tutserone as one of my producers and engineers, he's produced and engineered my first 2 albums, working with the wonderful vocalist Amy Hanaiali'i on a classic song that I wanted to share in Hawaiian and English called When I Fall in Love. Everyone has heard Nat King Cole's version of it and Celine Dion's version of it, but I wanted to feature the vocalist that I grew up to as a young child, Amy Hanaiali'i. Also another legend, Mike Kumu, in Hawaiian music composition. I took his Hawaiian composition course in college while I was in high school at Nawahi Okalani Opu'u. Lale Kimura, Kumu Lale Kimura is well known as a songwriter, writing music like UFO and Iku'u Morning Dew.
Oh, nice.
And he's my kumu. He's my kumu who had to sit with me and go over our mele that we wrote together, Kauka Peʻa, and get his blessings to cover Kulaiwi, another famous song written by him and Peter Moon. So to work with my kumu was heartwarming. I had to take 3 CDs up to this 3rd CD to ask him, can we collaborate, Kumu? Oh, of course, Mr. Peʻa, we'll collaborate. And I love him because he is one of the founders of our Hawaiian language programs and one of my mentors. I also got to collaborate with Kumuhula Frank Kawaikapu Kalani Hewitt.
Nice.
He gifted me a mele about Lili Noi and our love for the goddess of Poliahu of Mauna Kea. And I made it in my own tune. There's a little Hawaiian jazz tune, the inspiration of Teresa Bright in there as well. And he actually created the melody and the music, so it was gifted to me. I was able to write and co-write 7 original music about places and people I love. So other collaborators, including the young generation, Kalena Ku de Lima of Kapena. I looked up to Kapena as a kid. And Kimie Minor. So Kimie and Kalena Ku and Pandanus sings on this theme song because they're part of the va'a. Now the question is, what are their kuleana on my va'a? Well, the main thing, I get to eat all the food on the boat, right? If we get on the boat. I'm just kidding. Who's going to make me shabu shabu on my va'a? No, but we all have different kuleana on our va'a, whether we're musicians, whether Kimie is a mother of 3 beautiful children, whether Kalena Ku is in real estate, building relationships with realtors out there and other people buying homes in Hawaii. We all have different kuleana as an entertainer. And we all wear various hats in order to thrive and survive in Hawaii. And that's the beauty of collaboration. I always love collaborating. I do not hesitate to ask. You either can say yes or no. And to have all of them to say, let's kauka peʻa, let's holo kava'a together.
That is absolutely awesome. And I am so glad that you get to share that journey with so many friends, or you get to create memories with people that you haven't had a chance to do music with, but that that you've looked up to all of this time. That's chicken skin, brother. When you can actually do that and tap people that are that you've always looked up to and say, can we play in the same sandbox together? And they say yes, and you're just like, yes. You try to maintain.
I got tickled. You know what? I also got tickled as well. I got to maintain. And I did shed a tear when I reached out to Auntie Loyal Gardner's Ohana, her niece, Kumuhula Pi'ilani Smith,
Yes.
and Auntie Loyal Gardner's Wahine and Ohana, and asked them for a blessing to record Ha'ahula and do it accurately like Auntie Loyal Gardner without adding any verses or translating it. They blessed me, but I had to send them tracks to listen first. That's what we do as Kanaka, right? In Hawaiian, we call it paka. Paka means to produce and make corrections and make better. And how do we find ways to revise our work, and then we exceed our work, and then we're successful as we measure these outcomes and learning outcomes. I'm not just going to record Ha'ahula without their approval. That's what we do as people. If there's a cover song, we reach out to the composers. We reach out to the ohana and songwriters. And Auntie Loyal wasn't here to acknowledge it, but spiritually, I felt her in the studio, and I felt her vibration and her encouragement. I knew she was Hawaii's top entertainers of all female vocalists. I've always wanted to collaborate with Auntie Loyal Gardner. I was only a senior in high school when she passed away. And so I wanted to acknowledge legends like her on this album.
That is awesome. If you do not have the means to perhaps purchase a hard copy, because I know as local people, we like hard copy CDs. You actually have some on sale, right?
We are, yes, physical albums is here. It's about to get distributed by Island Heritage Music, so mahalo Madden Corporation.
Okay, he's on all streaming platforms, but once again, you can actually pick up physical CDs. And I've really enjoyed how you've also interwoven the stories in the within the CD cover and the CD writings, the liner notes, because I think it was John Berger that had actually mentioned that about that he enjoyed the artwork and what you've contained inside of your CDs. So
John Berger wrote an article already?
No. In the past.
Oh, he likes liner notes. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I need to call him if he did. I love when he does reviews on Hawaiian music, because for those who don't understand Olelo Hawaii, it's helpful to have liner notes and graphics and interpretations and translations from the artist. Yes. Here's the thing. There's phases in our life. There's a process when it comes to writing music. Whether I'm sitting at the aikai at the ocean writing about poliahu, a'ahu poliahu, it's written on a piece of paper, then I have a tune in my head, then I sing it to my musician, my band that plays the track, and then there's a process, and then I have my studio musician. Like I worked with Imuo Garza. Imuo Garza plays 90% of the album, so he's another collaborator of mine. You know, I love working with that musician. He's a beast when it comes to playing music. He plays 90% of the album. And then from Imua, it gets produced and engineered. And then the world gets to hear this song or this mele. And then when the hula is put into it, I'm hearing the lyrics, and it takes me right back to chapter 1, where I just started writing this about a month ago. And now the world gets to hear my music, and then it's exemplified. And through hula, the hula is sharing the story of my music. And from that concert, May Day, people around the world tuned in, and they make their own personal connections through my music. And when they all have these personal connections, it's a life cycle, and it goes right back to chapter 1. Okay, I have to write more music to make these personal connections with people around the world through our music and hula. And that is the life cycle. And that is a cycle matter of energy and power that we have here in Hawaii. People come to Hawaii because we are the piko of aloha. We are the core of aloha. And that's why we do what we gotta do.
And nobody brings that aloha with him on the road like Kalani Peʻa. If you get a chance to catch him, brother, when do you think you'll be on the road next? Is it going to be a little while? And how have you been with the whole pandemic thing?
I am planning to do West Coast tours and Japan tours starting January 2022, but it got pushed back from last year. So we're at the edge of finding out. And I was asked, would you go to Japan and quarantine for 14 days? I would do it if you guys provide me shabu shabu every day. If I have an onsen, someone can massage my feet every day. I mean, come on. I mean, if you're going to make me quarantine for 14 days.
I have a list of items that I need in order to quarantine for 14 days.
I need an onsen, Netflix hooked up in my... yeah.
I so agree with that. Wow. Yeah. I would need a list too. Question on the floor. Is the new album out already? Yes, it is. It actually released April 29th, so it is brand new out there. How do you find balance in between all the things you are doing? Because you are so busy.
We just have to find, I'll use the word kaulike, balance in our life. He's my manager and also my husband. So he's the foundation, the kahua, alongside with my mother. My mom runs operational and logistics and planning and stage management when it comes to shows with my other half. But sometimes we have to separate the business, set aside Peʻa Records and entertainment, and find a day or two and go to the kahakai, go to the beach and hi'uvai and dive into the waters and just go through our own cleansing and reflection on life. Because at the end of the day, we have each other. That's what matters, right? At the end of the day, we have our ohana. My mom is my mother, set aside stage manager, operationals manager. My husband is my best friend. He is my husband at the end of the day, set aside my stage manager, digital marketing guru, and everything else that he's gifted in, makeup, award-winning makeup artist. I appreciate the people that is part of my life, and I need that help, because without that help, behind the scenes, they hear me, the Aries fire sign comes out. And I don't want to get to that point in life where, I have to hooky on my purple lei and my purple cap. And I just want to be, I'm just that normal Kanaka that at the end of the day, I want to be with my ohana, be with my loved ones, turn on, Amazon and Netflix and watch a good movie. And so set aside writing music and staying relevant in the entertainment industry. We got to find balance in our life. And that's the hardest thing. It's so easy to say than doing it, because we're consistently as entertainers thinking, what happens next? How do I contribute to our Lahui Hawaii? What do I need to do today to contribute to our society as a Hawaiian, as a musician and educator? So that's consistently rolling in this head. But I find the time to sit aside and reflect on life and reflect on the purpose of life with my family.
Just coming off of May Day at Hawaii Theater, and it had to be done virtually, with no audience. But the audience chairs were a wonderful backdrop. Did you enjoy the May Day experience?
Extremely. This was my second annual May Days Lady in Hawaii, featured on the iconic stage, Mahalo to Hawaii Theater Center, the directors and the administrators and the donors of the event, especially Gregory Dunn. He worked so hard with the engineers, the soundman, and staff of Hawaii Theater, especially Hanale Ka'anapu, who runs Haka Entertainment. He's doing his best. Gregory tries his best to employ us Hawaiian musicians so that we are working and staying relevant in the industry, as well as taking care of his staff. So being able to perform on the iconic stage on that iconic carpet ride. I wanted to do Aladdin's version of A Whole New World so badly on that carpet. But Nora Jones performed on that carpet. I'm like, oh my gosh, Nora Jones. So to perform for the second time at the Hawaii Theater was a huge opportunity to do it as a virtual concert. I live off of the live concerts, but we got to do what we got to do to get through this pandemic, and to collaborate with an iconic halau that I also grew up watching my entire life as a Hilo boy at the Merry Monarch Festival, and to sing for them as they took the overall trophy in 2019 at the Merry Monarch Hula Festival. Hula Halau o Kamuela are dear friends and colleagues of mine as well. Kumuhula Kau'i Kamana'o and Kumuhula Kuneva Mok and Alakai and Po'opua'a Haukeo Kalani Ho. I love all three of them in their halau.
They are an awesome halau. So what happened after May Day was all done?
You know, I had to take the COVID test and head to Hilo to get my two ladies mochi and Cinnabons.
Did you really?
Oh, I got on that plane the next day to see my ohana, to love up on my kupuna who's in life care and who has Alzheimer's. I needed to get grounded again in Hilo. You know us, we're Big Island people, but nice to go home for a while and unwind.
I am hearing that you are also doing things. People are seeing your wonderful, lovely face on big billboards in certain areas of the country. Is this true?
It was such an honor this last year and this upcoming year to be collaborating with different organizations like Spotify and Amazon Music. So far, Amazon Music is part of this whole AAPI cultural heritage movement. If those who don't know what AAPI is, it's Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and we need to appreciate all cultures and all cultural diverse ethnic backgrounds and appreciate music that really brings us together. So Hawaiian music and my big face with a purple lei, I think perhaps, will be on Spotify billboards around New York City and San Francisco to celebrate diversity in Hawaiian music. And you know, my friend, this pandemic did not stop us Hawaii entertainers from creating music for the world to hear. This pandemic will not stop us to share our true identity, our authenticity through our Hawaiian music, hula, and culture. The aloha spreads everywhere, daily, day and night. And that's the beauty about who we are.
And we were talking story once again with Kalani Peʻa from the island of Maui. Of course, Koka Peʻa, the brand new album, is out wherever you find Hawaiian music online. I finally asked him at the end we started talking about, personal things about how his area is around him. And as we end our conversation, thinking aloha aina, I wanted to ask him, what is it like around his surroundings at the end of the day?
Right here at home, I get to see the ocean on the lanai, the rise of the sun, and Kinapo'okala, the sunset beyond Mauna Leo, which Mauna Leo is exemplified and shared through my song O Mauna Leo I Kalai. And when the sun sets behind Mauna Kahalavai, Mauna Leo, past the Avava of Iao in Lahaina on the west, I get to reflect on life and understand that I get to wake up to a new day. And we call it Moku Kapava. In the break of dawn, we wake up to new life and a new start in life. And as Kanaka, we appreciate all the elements around us, no matter what, through sunshine, through thunder, through the sunrise and the sunset, through the wind and rain. My kupuna always say this, nani a mai kai, there's beauty all around. There's beauty in this pandemic because we're learning how to get through this pandemic. There's beauty in challenges and obstacles, and there's beauty in triumphs. And we just have to seek beauty no matter where we're at, there's beauty all around. Nani a maikai.
Kamaka Dias is mahalo once again to Kalani Peʻa, and thank you very much. Kamaka Dias is another gentleman who we'll talk about right now. And Kamaka Dias is, if you remember, Race to 50K. He was trying to pay off his college bills. And he's wrote a book. But I was thinking, is this book about the 50K?
Well, not my Race to 50K book. I'm working on that because that one, it takes a little bit more time. I want to go to like a big publishing house. That's going to be a huge book. But it's more of a personal project. It's called So Far. It's my book about my time in the Peace Corps.
Wow. Nice. Okay. So when is this book out?
It's already out. I published it on my birthday in March. So it's been out for about a month. And I sold about over 100 copies so far. So it's pretty cool to get that community support. I've been super busy working with other projects. So I haven't really been able to market it. But there's been a good response so far.
Well, let's talk about that for a couple of moments here. And
yeah, it starts in 2016 when I first joined the Peace Corps. I started writing a blog post. So I had a blog post throughout my 3 years in the Peace Corps. And what I did was turn that into this book. And the idea to create this book was from the Race to 50K, because during the pandemic, when we first had the lockdown, I couldn't go out and do my normal job. So I was thinking of ways to make money. And I was thinking, I can turn my blog post into a book. So I started it during the Race to 50K. And then I ended up paying off my student loans before I finished the book. I just got way too busy. So one of my goals after finishing the Race to 50K was to finish this book before I start the Race to 50K book. Because I feel like a lot of who I am is because of the Peace Corps. So, some people might know me as that student loan guy. So I wanted people to, get a more in-depth look on who I am, because I talk about some things of like how I was raised. I mentioned, my life in Hawaii. I talk about the similarities between Madagascar and Hawaii. There's a chapter in Hawaiian. There's a chapter in Pidgin. So I just felt like I had to get this book out before I started my Race to 50K book.
For those that are not Ma'a, because there are some younger ones that may have never heard of the Peace Corps, what is the Peace Corps? Why'd you join?
So I joined because I was in Spain my senior year of college. This was 2014. I was a super senior. I went 5 years in college. So I heard my resident director talking about the Peace Corps to some other students, and I've never heard of it before. And I wasn't even part of the conversation, but I went home later. I looked it up. I fell in love with it. I mean, you could travel, you can help others, you can learn a new culture, learn a new language. So all that spoke to me because once I studied abroad, I caught the travel bug. So I got back home, studied abroad again in Argentina. And after that, I was set on joining the Peace Corps in South America. So I applied. And when you apply, you have 3 choices. You can choose the country you want. I did any sector, so that's how I ended up in education. But I did Peru, I did Costa Rica. And then as a third choice, I just needed to fill it out. So I was in the M section. And I saw Madagascar. And I was like, oh, cool, Madagascar, like the movie. Knowing nothing about it. I didn't even think it was a realistic option. So I chose Madagascar, and then a week later I got an interview for a secondary education position in Madagascar. And
Wow.
then I was like, do I even want to go to Madagascar? I know nothing about it. But the guy who interviewed me, he told me about the similarities between Hawaii and Madagascar. And then I was interested in it. And then I went to the Peace Corps, extended for a year, loved it, and it became my second home.
Nice. So did you go to all three of the countries that you put on the list?
No, so those are just a preference list, and you only get to serve in one country. So they just put me in Madagascar.
Nice. Okay. So where does the book end? Does it end from the ending of your Madagascar stay, or do you come back in the book? Where's the book end?
So it ends right before the race to 50K. So I like to think of this as the prequel to the race to 50K.
Nice.
It's where I thought of the idea. I didn't talk about the race to 50K in here, or like how I thought of the idea, but I did mention it at the end where I'm just like, what's next? You know, because I finished my time in the Peace Corps. I got my rice tattoo. And then I'm thinking, okay, what do I do next? And then I mentioned student loans. It always came back to student loans, because I wanted to do a lot of things. But I kept being held back by student loans. And that's where I started the race to 50K. So at the end, it says like, Kamaka did this thing, whatever. And he got back in October 2019 and successfully completed a mission to pay off $53,757 of student loans in 1 year during a crazy 2020. Stay tuned for that book.
Wow. Okay. So, nice. Okay. So that book is still being written now as we speak, but we'll put that on the side for now. What are some of the things that you're hoping readers of this book take away? What do you hope that they come off after they read? Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, so Peace Corps is a very unique experience that not a lot of people get to experience, especially people from Hawaii, especially people from a town like Hilo, you know, a super small town. So I throughout the book, you see my growth, you know, you read my growth and see, I mentioned like, I started writing the book as a 23-year-old man-child, and then you see me grow into a 26-year-old man-child. So that's kind of what I want people to see, is that there's so much growth in the Peace Corps because of the situations you're put in. You're living in a developing country. You don't have running water. Most times you don't have electricity. You're forced to live frugally. There's a lot of things that just force you to grow up, you know, and you live alone in the middle of nowhere. The closest volunteer to me was a 2-hour bike ride or a 4-hour taxi bus ride to the capital, you know. So you learn to live alone, and, you know, you learn to survive and get through things on your own, and it tests your limits, and you're uncomfortable all the time, but you learn how to be comfortable in that uncomfortability. And I think with the Peace Corps, that's what it really is. You know, it's a time where you can learn about yourself. You can create yourself. You can find out what you like, what you don't like. And in my book, I mention a lot of just like reflections on life, similarities between Hawaii, Madagascar, the things I learned, and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot that people can learn from this, and just a lot of new perspective that you wouldn't think of. Like, you know, I'm from Hawaii. I'm born and raised here, but I've never been a haole. And in one of my chapters, I write about being a haole in Madagascar, whereas I lived my whole life as the local, and now I'm in this foreign country as the haole. So I gained a new perspective of that. So just things like that, interesting little excerpts. There's some poetry inside. So it's a fun book. It's a light read. It's fun.
All right. Do me a favor, hold the book up so everybody can see it. Where can they find that book, and where can they pick it up?
It's on Amazon. If you type in So Far, it should be one of the books that pop up. You can also just contact me. My Instagram's Kamaka Dias 8. And I have copies on me, so I can just get that to you. So I've been delivering it, and, you know, signing them, writing a little message, and giving it to people that want to support me.
All right. So either you can contact him or buy it online and then contact him and get him to sign it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, either way. Yeah.
Congratulations. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's just because I know a lot of people are excited for the Race to 50K book, and that's going to be a big book. I mean, it's an amazing story, and not just about me, but about the community, you know, about kindness, about like resilience and hard work. So I know people are really excited about that, and I will get that book out. But yeah, for now, this is what I have so far, and I hope it holds people off until I get my next book out. And you can learn about like my writing style and see if you're gonna like the next book, because I have a pretty fun comedic writing style, so I think it's enjoyable and it's easy to read.
Rather, just the fact that you wrote it in English, in Olelo, Hawaii, and in Pidgin, right there,
Yeah.
that right away, it caught me, and I'm like, wow, nice. Before we do anything else, I wanted to ask you about your shirt, Hawaii Verse. What is that?
Oh, yeah. So this is what I'm working on now. So last year during the pandemic, my friends and I created this online directory to support local businesses called Hawaiiverse. And it's basically like a local version of Yelp and Groupon, but it's free for everyone. Free for businesses, free for users. And like I said, we created it just to help businesses out, and it grew really quickly. We started with 40 businesses in Hilo, and now we're at 900 businesses on 3 different islands. So it's been going crazy, and we're super blessed that people like the idea, and we're just trying to grow. I also host a spotlight series, so like we go to different businesses and we talk about their story. I highlight them, and we work with a professional videography company called Propeller USA, and the videos come out really cool, and it's cool because we get to highlight these small local businesses, and I get to meet a lot of cool people and try to shift the mindset to supporting local, and that's my passion right now, is supporting local. So that's why I love doing what I do with Hawaiiverse.
Nice. So that was kind of actually what the part of the what is next. You're into supporting local businesses. Is there anything else that you are also in the process of doing?
So writing the book, Hawaiiverse wasn't actually mentioned in the book because this just came up during the pandemic. And it wasn't my idea, but they brought me on board to kind of promote it, be the face of it. They knew I was passionate about supporting local, so it was a perfect fit. And the rest of our team is just amazing. But yeah, so just books, Hawaiiverse, another book, and just trying to enjoy my freedom, right? It was really tough after the race 50K. I was super burnt out, so it took me a while to get into a good groove again. But yeah, I'm just trying to just enjoy being here in Hawaii with my family. I had wrist surgery actually, so I'm still recovering from that. And once that's better, I'll start surfing and getting out again.
Was the wrist injury in the process of the travels or in the race to 50K? Because you were doing some wild stuff there for a while.
So I actually heard it in February of last year, at the beginning of the race to 50K. My friends took me out for fun because they're like, you work too hard, you have to take some time off. So they took me roller skating in Kapolei, and I was trying to go backwards like the cool people, and I kept falling on my wrists, and I guess eventually I thought it was just like a sprain, and then I didn't take care of it because I was doing jobs the whole entire time. I was working out on it, and then towards the end it got really bad, so I got an MRI and there was a torn ligament, and I couldn't get the surgery because I was doing race to 50K things. So this year, a couple months ago in February, I got the surgery.
That's
now I'm recovering.
It's one of those things of taking care of your body so you can do more great stuff in the community.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
All right. So far is the book from Kamaka Dias. Kamaka Dias 8 is the Instagram that you want to go to if you want to leave him messages. But follow him. He is another person that has aloha aina in mind, in wanting to help people locally, knowing where he comes from, and hoping that in the process of the book, from his mindset being from Hawaii, that it will help you in everyday things and in overcoming obstacles, because that's what he had to do while he was away in so many ways. Kamaka Dias, thank you for joining us on the show.
I appreciate it.
And brother, again, thank you for all the things you do. Kamaka Dias!
Yeah. Check out Hawaiiverse. And my book.
Nice. The machine has a mind of its own. Not only that, but also if I have to remember to turn on the microphone. Thank you so much, Raynette. Okay, anyway, so I guess we should begin. Let's see if my second camera works. Hi! Yes, it does! Yay! Okay, so weekend events. These are the things that are coming up for you. Now, if you remember last week, we had like 3 or 4 things that were happening that were live streams. And you can see the progression because now on this one, none of it is live stream. It's all live performance. So let's go ahead and go through these and we'll kind of show you what we mean. Kaneʻohe Hanohano Award, he's got a live performance and that is going to be coming up. And where is he? Do we have that? Yes, I think we do. Yeah, he is at Stonefish Grill. The Moonlight Melody Drive-In Concert Series. This is over at Aloha Stadium. So you drive in, you park your car, you don't get out of your car unless you're going to the bathroom and then you got to put on the mask. And that's becoming the thing with a lot of things here in Hawaii. And this, I'm meaning this for those of you that are outside of Hawaii. For instance, here in Honolulu, there's going to be soccer tournaments coming up this weekend. Oahu League is started up. So that's over 200 teams. So that's like about 2,000 kids. And so they all know their protocol, spaced apart, et cetera, et cetera. But what happens is the families have to stay in the car. They're not allowed out because this happened during the summer. And our numbers skyrocketed, is because what the parents and the friends and the family would do is they would go to there and they would not space. So they would have potlucks and they didn't space. So the league and actually the city and county of Honolulu is saying you can't congregate, you cannot gather at these sporting events. So if you want your children to play, you have to drop them off, go wait in the car, or come back and pick them up after the game is done. So Moonlight Melody Drive-In Concert Series is kind of like this because you have to stay inside of your car, but it's awesome. And look at how many people are on the bill, from Josh to Tofi, Amy, Sean, Roby, Dell, Jeff, Aine, Hoku, Kalai Camarillo. That's the lineup there. Awesome lineup. It's about $75 a car. And then you get as many people as you can into the car if they're in your same household. And anyway, yeah. So you still have to be safe. So let's go into Saturday. Anuhea has Mother's Day weekend concert. That's going to be over at the Blue Note. Hawaiian Brian's has Mama's Night Out with City Boys and Johnny's Sweet. Honolulu Museum of Art Wild and Scenic Film Festival. And actually, I apologize. I'm being told by my producer, and they're going, hey, live stream. So that's live streamed for you. Barefoot Boys are going to be at Barefoot Beach Cafe, 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Joseph Soul, of course, you saw him on The Voice. He's at Workplay Hawaii at 7:30 on Saturday. This is Sunday now. Grub and Groove with Josh Tutofi for Mother's Day. That starts at 9 p.m. at Hawaiian Brian's. Duke's on Sunday, of course, always with Henry Kapono out there. And Ho'okahi Sunday, that's over at Workplay Hawaii. Those are your events that are coming up for this weekend that you can go ahead and enjoy. Once again, most of them are live performances, so kind of keep that in mind. There you go. Once again, those are all of your events that are happening this weekend. That brings us to the end of the show. Kaleo Boikia is with us coming up next weekend, so we will have him here for next Friday's show. That's going to do it for us. There are a couple of things. Hoku Awards, I mentioned that. And we've got the full list at hawaiinewsnow.com. Tomorrow afternoon, Rainbow Warrior volleyball, Go Bows, University of Hawaii. And I think that's it. For those of us that are here on the island of Oahu, just a reminder, we're doing good, but we need to keep it that way, because if the numbers creep too high, then we got to go back to Tier 2. Right now, we're in Tier 3. So, we don't want to go backwards. So make sure that you're masked up, socially distanced, wash your hands. It's been interesting. The news department at Hawaii News Now has sent me out a couple of times to go and gather what they call sound. They wanted me to ask, hi, have you gotten vaccinated or not? And why? And, usually when people ask questions, they get kind of shy. Oh, no, I don't like being on camera. No. But when you ask them, do you wear masks? they're like, oh yeah, I'll answer that on camera. It's very, very interesting. And there's all kinds of comments streaming up here. Oh, thank you very much, Renette. Hi, all moms. Mother's Day coming up. So we want to say happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Maybe moms to be, if hapai. We just appreciate all that you do. We hope that, and if you are not a mom, hopefully you get to spend time or at least a phone call to your mom. So, Kekilani, thank you very much. Thank you for all the comments, everybody. And yeah, haolila ma kuahine. Raynette, we will see you next week on a Friday. I'm not sure who our guests are yet. We will find out. We're going to leave you with a music video, and we will see you next week, Friday, 3 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. Just a reminder, finally, if you get the chance, please hit share if you're over on the Facebook side, so that way that all of your friends get to see the show too as well. We will see you next week. Mahalo pono, aloha ahui ho. Mahalo to our moderators in studio and on the road.
"40 years after its release, 40 artists and 14 schools across 4 islands unite as we reimagine Hawaii 78.
Hawaii pa mama o kapiko ake akai mai heo polohiva akane akanalo
Just for a day, our queen and king would visit all the islands and saw everything. How would they feel about the changes of our land?
Can you just imagine if they were around and saw highways on a sacred ground? How would they feel about this modern city life? Come from each other's eyes as they would stop to realize our people are in great, great danger now. How would they feel? Would they smile, be content, or just cry? Just imagine if they come back and saw traffic lights and railroad tracks. How would they feel about this modern city life?
Tears would come from each other's eyes as they would stop to realize that our land is in great, great danger now.
Oh
what the queen had done. She gave all her love to everyone. How would she feel if she saw Hawaii next? Would they feel?
Would they smile, be content, or just cry?
Cry for the lost, cry for the people, cry for the land that was taken away. And then yes, you'll find Hawaii Ua mau ke au kaina I ka pono o Hawaii. Ua mau ke au kaina I ka pono
Hawaii. E ola mau kākou.
Hale hale Hawaii, Yaloha ia, yaloha ai.